Okay, so let's get a game against So Dumb Bro, 1900 from Italy. Let's play a Caro Kann. So he brings his knight out. So he takes. Now I'm gonna develop my knight and attack his knight. And if he takes me, he doesn't take me. Um, so if you go here, you get checkmated. So you take the knight. He takes with the queen. Then we go here, so we can go here. I'm drinking. It's like it's basically like chocolate sugar. It just has a ton of calories, basically. So he pushes d4. I'm gonna hit the queen. He's gonna bring the bishop out. Oh no, he's gonna go here. Okay. I could hit the queen again. But I don't want to really. Kind of want to develop. So, I could put my bishop here. But if he jumps in with the knight, it doesn't threaten anything, and I could retreat my bishop here, so that if he comes out, I'm already defending this. Takes, 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 takes. I think I'm gonna do that. Let's just develop because I want to play e6, and this is the only square I can go to at the moment. Hopefully, I'm not falling into something. I even have. Huh. Yeah, I don't see his follow-up in that case. Hey, club, what's up? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. My routine. My routine. I've been working out my whole life, so, and I've done different things my entire life. So I don't really have like, right now my routine is actually based around arm wrestling. Um, I go to the gym basically like once every fifth day. So he does go here and attack this, but I think if I go back, I guess his best move is this. But I mean, I could still do something. Definitely e6. So I'm gonna go here. Which also defends f7, which is nice. You just started last year. Yeah, man, just do the things you enjoy, not the things you read are the best for you. Do the exercises you like, take your time, and over the course of years, things add up. So this is a move, this is a move. Let's look, I mean, e6 is priority, followed by bishop, d6, castles, bishop here, queen somewhere. Even in the center, actually, depending on the position. I don't know. Just some ideas. Well, since you're here, Club, can you do me a favor and tell me how loud the music is in relation to my voice? Hmm. So he's thinking. Thing is, this bishop can't. Like, what's the queen really doing there? I get it was like some cheesy thing, but kind of quiet. Yeah, okay, good. I want it to be quiet. I'm gonna post this game on YouTube. I'm gonna start posting games to YouTube, trying to climb to 2,000. And I don't want the volume to be overwhelming or even really paid attention to much. Actually, all this is gonna be in the video, so that's funny. Okay, so he goes c4, which controls the d5 square. Fine. I think e6. It's time for e6. Looks good. Uh, Opens up this. His bishop now can't put pressure on this diagonal. What other observations can I make? This pawn isn't so tender after this. And this d5 push probably never gets off the ground because takes, takes. And even if the light script bishop somehow took that, queen takes. Oh, Mario Kart lobby, cool. Good luck. Okay. I like my position because of his queen. I don't know. Like if his queen was, well, I don't know, here on c2 and he can develop his bishop, that's scarier. This is just asking for something. Maybe to provoke this, which is probably bad. Whoa, what in the Holy Ghost? G4. I can honestly say I was not expecting that, and no capture works because there's no tactic anywhere. Yeah, it takes. There's nothing there. Although I don't see anything wrong with this. He's gonna go h4. And then I go h5. And then he pushes. And then I challenge the knight. And this isn't mate because the bishop defends. Um, huh. What else do I have on h4? I have... Does this work? If he pushes... Nah, it looks like it doesn't work. You can't take because then two pieces of yours hang. And this, he pushes. Oh, you have this square, actually. You have c2, although that's not really a good square, but it does exist. Well, I feel like h5 is the way to go, and then after he pushes, you move the knight. This doesn't really look good, because unless you want to go... Nah, you immediately challenge the knight, probably. You gotta get rid of that guy. And with your pawn here, he's gonna have to move his queen if he wants to continue. And I just don't see it because you can blockade. RK Martin, what's up? G5 and then bishop d3. I don't understand. So if g5 here, you can either go here or here. And this doesn't work because you can um, take the knight. Or if you go here, you're hitting the queen. So he does go h4. He obviously wants to do this. I feel like h5 has to be the move, right? Oh, I see. And then he wants this. I see. And now that he played this, he blocked the escape square. It's interesting. What do I do? What else do I got here? I can't really move the bishop though because of checkmate threats, right? So I'm still thinking h5, and even if he takes and I take, I have some weak pawns, but his queen can't immediately attack them. I don't see what else I can even do, right? Because if he goes here next, I mean, I could go to c2, but once it's attacked again, it doesn't have anywhere to run. Here. So I kind of have to. I feel like I'm forced to go here, right? Let's just go for it. We'll see what happens. I can't tell if you're joking or not with your question, so. You think he's gonna push or take? Or both. Take and then push. And then when I move, he does actually get to hit both pawns. And if I block with the king, oof, that's ugly. Maybe I give a pawn away. Maybe I go check, trade bishops, and his queen has to move, or if he takes with a king, I get my queen out and just castle and let him take one of the pawns. And he's still kind of weird development. Huh. Oh, I didn't even look at this. Okay. Do I just abandon this? Probably. I think I need to develop super quick. So like check. Because like king f7 loses immediately to this. I kind of want to castle long or castle short. Somehow just castle. And even this isn't fast enough because he takes with check. So let's do this. At least now we can castle, even though it's still probably really bad to castle into this. Unless he pushes, but he's not. He's going to take this when he can. There's a pawn here. If I take this and he takes this, and I'm castled long. I'm not. I think that's fine, right? I don't know. Guess we'll have to see. Protein. Yeah, it's a mixture of protein and carbs, but it's way more carbs than protein. It's just like chocolate sugar, basically. What the heck? King F1. Wow. Okay. Mm, what if I castle here? My rook would just be doing this, and this wouldn't come with check. I don't want it to come with check. That was the whole thing. So if I castle short, which looks kind of dangerous in its own way, this is being eyed. He can't take. I gotta have some weird discovery like this. So I don't. He can't take. So long castles. If he can't take, then maybe it's not so bad. I don't know. It looks kind of bad. I guess I'll have this. I could probably consolidate that. And this pawn's still hanging. And his king is kind of precarious too, because my rook's on the F file. So I feel like if I don't castle along and do anything else, I won't be able to castle, period. So let's do this. Bulking, not intentionally. If anything, I'd like to. If I had a button to push, it would be maintain muscle mass and just slowly get rid of the fat. So definitely not bulking. Not intentional anyway. But I eat a lot of junk, so I'm bulking one way. I don't know, this kind of looks bad. He can always do this, but that's passive. I mean, this looks horrible, but if I can stay active somehow. Maybe I could trick him. My routine. I go to the gym like once every 5 days. I alternate um, like pushes and pulls. And that's basically it. I just do like, I like to do like 5 reps on my sets of, just a couple sets, like 3 or 4 per exercise, depends on how I feel. And I'll just do like some big exercise. So like for, shoulders, shoulder press, um, for back, pull downs or pull ups, stuff like that. I just do like very few exercises. Like I'll pick 3 for back. I'll do like 2 for chest at most, 1 for shoulders, 1 for triceps. Like I don't do a lot like other people. Okay, so he goes off of the F file, X-raying my queen, which is a little awkward, like a little weird for him, I feel like. Now, if I take this, doesn't that threaten his pawn? Like in a pretty bad way? First of all, he probably wants to open it up to attack me. But if I take this, then I'm a pawn up. He can take the pawn back. So like queen takes, threatening here, but rook takes check. King is forced to go here. Man, how come I can't get my... Oh, and no, I can get my queen in. You see, I was thinking, how do I get my queen in on this? Queen Oh, that's not check, though. My rook's in the way. But if I let him check me, and I just swing my thing over, and he checks me, and I go here, he actually can't check me with the queen, because the queen defends. But he can go bishop here check. And if I move, he can take the rook, but then that would be checkmate. I would checkmate him. This is hanging immediately as well, which hangs this and super nasty threats here. So actually this move hits the bishop. So it forces something. If he does do this, that looks way too dangerous because this might just win, as well as checks here. I feel like that was a mistake by him. Yeah, and none of this tempo stuff works because this guy hangs. How much rest in between? I take a lot of rest. I want my sets to be quality. I don't rush anything. I want to be able to lift quality sets. If I'm doing, I'm just giving an example, 100 pounds on something for 5, and then the next set 100 pounds for 5, and then the next set for some reason I can only do 30. Obviously that's not realistic, but if that was the scenario, I just wouldn't do that last set. Either maintain the quality, or if it diminishes, I stop, and I'd rather recover and do it again. Today was supposed 1 minute. How did I only use 1 minute? This is a 15-10 game. I've used a lot of time. This is greedy. Queen takes, king takes, double check. If king here, rook here, king here, that's not mate because of this. Okay. If I don't move my knight, he actually doesn't have this check. I forgot that this actually defends the bishop, but I don't think that matters. Because he's not threatening this. He's threatening this pawn, but who cares? If I add another attacker to the bishop, he can only defend with the king, which there's no way he's going to do, right? And with the rook. So let's assume he defends with the rook. There has to be something. There has to be something in this position. If I do take, that's mega threats. So all I have to calculate is the check here, forces this. A check with either piece goes here, and I can run to safety, I feel like. And if he takes this way, well, no, if he takes this way, I could just tuck myself in the corner. I don't see how he stops all my threats. And is this any good? No, because this and the bishop's not hanging. I don't want to allow that. I feel like this. Hold on, let me just double check. Because if it wins, it wins. And the only thing he can do is this. So he can take this in check, but my knight's still defended. And if I go to a dark square, and even if he brings in another attacker with check, and then I go to a light square, he has no more checks that don't sack the queen. And there's 3 attackers on this square as well as his bishop's hanging, so whatever. Maybe I missed something. I don't care. That's my calculation. Am I up for a game? What if I sack my queen? If you sack your queen, you better calculate the mate. And I didn't see one. Knight e4 blocks the bishop. Hold on, I'll look at that in a second. Like queen takes f2, knight e4 wins the bishop. Let me see. So if I went knight e4, you're saying it wins this bishop? It might win checkmate actually, because you're actually opening this up, which was also the point of my move. But the good thing about your move is that it doesn't allow this series of checks. Oh no, it does actually. It allows this check. So when you move your thing, your knight's actually hanging, but he can't take it because he gets mated. That's the funny thing. So even if you go here, it's still hanging technically, 2 pieces. But if he takes it with either one, you just mate him. That's interesting actually. I think that might have even been much more clever. Although it doesn't stop. One of the things I was looking at was that this also stops the bishop because you just take it for free with check because it's pinned. So if this was here and he goes here, I guess you could just take his bishop because your knight's here. Yeah. Now that move is probably super strong. Wait, did he move? No. So he just gave me a random check and didn't calculate anything? Okay, now if I go here, is this really safe? I think so. I don't see it because this is hanging too with check. But the big thing is checkmate here. He can't stop it with the rook because that hangs with check. He can't stop it with the bishop because that hangs with check. The only other piece is the queen, which obviously can't come to the defense. So if he doesn't have check, 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 he gets mated, no? Yeah, king f1 was a crazy move. He probably should have just blocked and then retreated his queen. Or maybe he's completely winning in his position. Don't ask me. I'm just trying my best. Truth is, I don't actually know what I'm doing. There needs to be some sort of systematic thinking to help you find moves. So, if there are any coaches out there who know how to teach more than lines, let's see. So I thought this was safe. Let's double check. He doesn't have this or this. He doesn't have any checks with the bishop. He doesn't have any other pieces. So if I go here. Oh, he can stop checkmate. No, he cannot. He has to retreat the bishop. Oh wait, that still loses to a brilliant rook takes. He can't take the rook because of checkmate. And the only legal square for the king would be here. And then there's got to be some cool, like, I don't know, check, check. Who knows? I'll figure it out. Bishop g5. Bishop g5. What about bishop g5? If you're watching, you would have seen I calculated bishop g5 before. Luckily, the best part about this is that this guy's slower than even me, which is not common. I thought that this for a second stopped mate because it disconnects the rook, but the knight still covers the square, so it's mate in one, right? But it's funny how even though he's in 1900, right? So from his perspective, it looks like there's three. He's like, I can't defend. There's literally nothing to do. So if he pushes, it looks like the rook can attack, but the square, it's not the pawn that's weak, it's the square. And, well, that's checkmate, guys. So, boom. I don't see anything prettier. So let's just go for checkmate. 8 points, let's go. 21 moves with the Caro Kann to beat a 1900. I usually do not win Caro Kann games in 20 moves. So that's awesome. Let's game review this. I want to see what I can learn from this game. So I'm black. Just according to the graph, I had a little slip that gave him a tiny advantage, but even. I also had the same. It was a pretty even game until he blundered, apparently. And they rated us. Him at 1300? No way. What a 1300 have played that. 1900. They actually put me down rating. Awesome. Okay, let's start review. Caro Kann defense. I have a 50% win rate. Won't complain about that. This is an inaccuracy. Hello? Hello? No way. Okay, so the bishop's hit twice. There's only like 3 legal moves that even make any sense. One is to defend it again. The other is to defend it again. And the other is to retreat here, I guess, if you're not going to go back to my move. But I don't understand. So, yeah, I didn't like that move. Are they going to tell me here? Oh, get out of here. Why? Huh. Hold on one second. So because I went here, so let's like the logic behind this. So they're saying, okay. So he goes queen h4, which puts pressure on my bishop. I'm naturally going to go e6, right? So if he plays h4, I'm 1000% going to play e6. Now they're saying, because this creates a weird pin, so the point of the queen here is actually to create a pin so that after this pawn is targeted, if I ever go back and he takes, I can't recapture with this pawn. Okay, so I played e6. He does play bishop d3. So now normally you want to go back and solidify, but here it doesn't work because you'd have to take with this pawn, and then he could still capture. So you definitely just can't move back. So your bishop's kind of stuck on this awkward square. So it's vulnerable to attack, only defended by the knight, which can also be attacked. What else can you do? G6 just looks like it gets it trapped. So if you play a normal move, I'll actually do this in the analysis section. First, I want to retry all my mistakes. So this is a miss. So I missed a tactic here. Ah, I see. So if I give this check first, if he moves his king, that's obviously bad for him. If he blocks, he's not going to block with his queen. So assuming that forces this, if I take, again, if he moves with the king, bad for him. If he takes with the queen, that removes the defender from the G pawn. I'm assuming that's what I missed, yeah. Because he blocks, you take, he does move the king because losing the pawn is too much. And then I win a pawn. His kings can't castle. And I'm doing awesome. Okay, that's fair. Okay, so castling was the best move. And they're actually giving me a slight advantage. So that's really cool. It's because of this and the activity. Huh. It says it's -5, but also an inaccuracy. So I have a more winning move. Oh, it's probably the 94 move. Yeah. Wow. Because it stops all these shenanigans. It's weird because my mind did look at that, but for some reason I didn't calculate it. I just saw that this was winning and didn't bother calculating the other one. Because I calculated that this didn't actually do anything once I got here. But yeah, this, I should have definitely looked at this option as well. Okay. But that's not a mistake. It's still completely winning, really. So now let me do the move by move analysis. So this is all normal. Now I'm actually not familiar with Queen F4 so much. So what's the move here? You do go knight d5 immediately? And where does the queen like to park in these positions? E4, D2, and G5. D2 doesn't scare me. E4 and G5. G5 for some reason just looks misplaced. But maybe? Like, can you even go G6 there? And play a different type of Caro? You can. Yeah, I would just be inclined. Like, H6 looks good, but after retreating, even that looks wrong after. I mean, it's going to be harder to develop it, but something about that looks wrong. And Queen E4, you still now can't develop the bishop anywhere. So then again, G6 to give it a square to go to. I don't know. I also don't know about this move. It doesn't seem to do much. And I kind of like my knight here supporting these squares. Hmm. They also recommend G6 or H6. But I still like my move. Development. The only thing is here. Wow, they have G5 as a move. No shot. G5. Takes, takes. What's the point of all this? Oh, I see, I see, I see. No, deflecting the queen gives you this pawn, which is super important pawn. And then you're also threatening mate, the knight. I see. G5, that's what a move. I like it. And it's still on dark squares, so it can't collaborate with the knight, his knight, which hits light. Still, though, you gotta follow that up when he doesn't take it. Not sure about that, but even though my move's inaccurate, it's kind of hard to find Queen H4. That's very engine-y, and it's definitely not clear that that's an effective pin from that position. At least not to me. They do like bishop e6. I suppose bishop e6 with a g6. I've seen it before. I've seen players do this on the tournaments I watch. In some cases, they put it here and fin shadow the other one. I don't know which specific openings and stuff you're supposed to do it, but okay. I like this. So he plays c4, which is natural. Very natural move. Of course, e6 makes sense. So he goes g4, which actually loses a pawn here. I missed it, which is really bad because it's not hard to see. Where are the timestamps? Whatever. Anyway, so he goes h4. Wait, what? The things they're recommending are insane. Wait, so after bishop e4, I thought he would play f3. Oh, bishop e4 disconnects these two. So if you continue calculating, I would say I take this pawn. My bishop is still hanging. So let's say he takes the bishop. I could take a second pawn, but that doesn't seem right. I feel like there should be a different continuation. Like bishop b5, blocks, takes. Queen takes knight. Yup, bishop b4, and they just want to move the king. Okay, king e2? Well, that's the only legal move, so I guess. So how would I follow this up? I guess put a rook on d8 probably. And at worst, I can get a second pawn, maybe? I don't know. Either way, it's some compensation. It's interesting. Okay, so if that's not the line that I played, they also like queen b6. Oh, queen b6. It opens up long castling. Other than that, I don't really see what it does. Again, h5 forces the same kind of trick. This thing again. And then queen takes d4 and you're kind of in the same position. Maybe down a tempo? Yeah. They also like bishop b4 check. And the point of this is... Okay. You get this in. Oh, so that when he goes h5, you can take. Okay, but what if you did all of that immediately? Why didn't I even look at this move? Did I look at this move? H5, you have to take the knight. He takes the bishop, then you take back. So H5, knight takes, queen takes, and then your bishop has to run. So that's why it doesn't work immediately. This is a weird tangle that everything's in. But they really like the bishop b4 sack idea, and without it, I mean, it looks like unless you do the bishop b4 check line. So let's see that. Check, check, removing the queen here. Now if he goes here and you take the knight, his queen can't take your knight. And if he takes the bishop, then your position's fine. So deflecting the queen makes this work. Ow. What was that? So I didn't see any of this. I didn't see any of this. So I did h5, which I didn't like because of this, but I thought I could hold it. So they give him not even a pawn, so it's playable by people our rating. So they like g5, dislocating the knight. Yeah, I mean, that is a good move. They could also have taken something. So g5, knight g4, f3, bishop e4, king e2, e5. Oh, that's so hard to calculate. So he plays here, very natural. I thought the only way out is this. Ah, they said king d1 was actually best. So he had the right idea, but going into an open f-file with your queen there, that's just asking for trouble. Alignment issues. So I found the best move. Castles. He's got to move his queen somewhere. I mean, he doesn't have to, but he should. Unless you calculate everything, which is hard. So this is a mistake because of queen takes d4, dropping a hugely important pawn. Now I realized that that pawn was more important than this threat because I calculated it. What other moves do I have? Knight takes g4, that's the other move I was considering. e5 for equality. He can't take because the bishop hangs. Takes with the queen. You probably have this stuff. But all of that's obviously worse than this. So he takes his pawn, which I thought was greedy, and now it's mate in 9 if you find knight e4, which I found knight g4. I did look at this, I just didn't calculate it because I saw this was winning. And after he does these checks which don't do anything, it's mate in 5. Why does it take so long? Okay, that's 1. Okay, yeah, because he makes you take all of stuff. Fine. Yeah, because that's just mate. Alright, cool. Whew. We got that one. One down. We reached 1920. Hopefully, my train of thought has helped somebody with their train of thought. Goodbye, YouTube.